Hello, my name is Esteban Mora, and today I'll be going through why World War II was the most important event in U.S. history. So, what was World War II? On September 1st, 1939, Germany and Soviet Russia both decided to invade Poland at the same time, splitting it down the middle. 2 days later, France and Britain declared war on Germany, beginning World War II. Throughout the span of World War II, main factions would form, such as the Allied powers, being the United States, Britain, Soviet Union, and China. Of course, this Allied powers included many more countries, and they were against the Axis powers consisting of Nazi Germany, Imperial Japan, and Italy. Germany and Japan would take over and grow almost 3 times their size, as you can see from the map. But at the end, Germany would surrender on May 8th, 1945, and soon Japan would follow in September 2nd, 1945. So when did all this take place? As I once said, World War II took place in August 19th, 1939, all the way to September 2nd, 1945. So it's almost a century old now. And its effects are still felt today, even almost a century afterwards, which shows its impact to U.S. history, with the U.S. still being a global superpower, the shifting gender roles, and also the creation of the UN, which the U.S. is a part of. Moving on, who did this war affect? The simplest answer would just be everyone. But how did it affect the U.S. population? So we all know that World War II affected billions. It spanned from almost every country in the world. But U.S. citizens specifically, it affected the job market. The war practically ended the Great Depression through its war production and need of labor. The war production brought labor for women and minorities, and also just the general unemployed, because labor was needed. Millions of men were affected as well, white, black, Hispanic, you name it, were drafted to go fight overseas, and approximating 16.4 million. Although segregated, minorities did fight in World War II, and this sparked debates and laying groundworks for civil rights movements, specifically since minorities were fighting for a country that is segregating them. And with women now working in jobs, it also led to the groundwork for women's rights. In the Chapter 22 author videos, specifically World War II mobilization, Eric Foner states the following.
For white people, there is a tremendous homogenization of the society as a result of the giant mobilization of World War II. And for others, there is a mobilization of their concept of rights and a sense of grievance and a new militancy in demanding rights which are being denied to them, even though we are fighting for the 4 freedoms throughout the whole world.
So the war didn't just take place overseas, but it actually reached the U.S. One of the major homeland attacks, which is the attack on Pearl Harbor, where Japan, in a surprise attack, took out the U.S. Pacific Fleet. At home, major cities and military bases became hubs for war production and research, and then overseas, the U.S. joined the Pacific Theater and the European Theater, fighting 2 fronts against Japan and the Axis powers in Europe. So, why do I believe World War II is the most significant moment in US history? Many important events are connected to it. The Great Depression was practically ended by wartime production. Uh, World War II also laid the groundwork for civil rights and women's rights movements. It also led to the Cold War as well, kind of stemming from the scientific revolutions such as the Manhattan Project and nuclear bombs. And it also established allies we see today with the creation of the United Nations, as well as previous enemies becoming allies such as Italy and Japan. Lastly, with the European nations being practically destroyed and Imperial Japan being overthrown, it established the US as a global superpower, later being followed up by China. Thank you very much. Over here will be my sources that I used for this video.